Imagine living a life where you are not controlled by your emotions, relationships, or the chaotic events around you. A life where you are free from the burdens of anxiety, unhealthy attachments, and overwhelming stress. What if I told you that the key to this freedom lies in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism? Today we are diving deep into how to let go of people and situations, using timeless Stoic strategies that will empower you to achieve inner peace and emotional balance. In this video, you'll discover practical methods drawn from Stoicism that will guide you through the process of detachment. But don't mistake detachment for coldness. It's about fostering stronger, healthier connections with yourself and others. If you stay with me until the end, you'll not only learn to let go of what no longer serves you, but also find clarity, purpose, and a sense of fulfillment that can transform your life. This journey will challenge your mindset, but it will also provide you with tools to thrive emotionally in ways you may never have thought possible. Are you ready to unlock this ancient secret to living freely? Let's begin. 1. Practice flexibility and adaptation. Life is unpredictable. Whether we like it or not, the world around us is in constant flux, and clinging to the idea that things will stay the same is one of the greatest sources of suffering. How often do we find ourselves disappointed when people change, when circumstances shift, or when things don't go the way we expect? The Stoics believed that adapting to change is crucial for emotional well-being. But what does it truly mean to be flexible? Flexibility isn't about passively accepting whatever comes your way, but rather about navigating life's turbulent waters with grace and strength. Imagine you are sailing down a river. You cannot control the speed of the current or the obstacles you encounter. However, you can control how you steer your ship. Flexibility of mind, according to Stoicism, allows us to remain steadfast in our values while adjusting our actions and expectations in response to life's ever-changing currents. Ask yourself, how many of the difficulties I face today stem from my unwillingness to adapt? What would happen if I stopped resisting change and instead embraced it? By adopting this Stoic approach, you can begin to view change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth. Change is inevitable, but how you respond to it is entirely within your control. When you start to see challenges as opportunities for personal evolution, you empower yourself to move forward, unburdened by resistance or frustration. And in doing so, you open yourself up to the freedom that comes with emotional detachment from outcomes that are beyond your control. This leads us to the next vital Stoic practice: setting boundaries with your emotions. 2. Establish boundaries with your emotions. To truly let go of people and situations, one of the most essential steps is learning to establish boundaries with your emotions. Emotions, while a natural part of the human experience, can often cloud our judgment and lead us into suffering when left unchecked. But ask yourself, how often have your emotions steered you off course, pulling you into a storm of anxiety, frustration, or regret? The Stoics understood that emotions are not inherently harmful, but it is our lack of control over them that causes distress. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our emotions without becoming their captives. Consider your mind as a fortress and your emotions as visitors who knock at the door. Some emotions are helpful, others are not, but none of them should be allowed to overrun your sanctuary. When you establish emotional boundaries, you recognize that your emotions are just that, emotions. They are separate from your deeper self. You might feel anger, sadness, or jealousy, but these feelings do not define you. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us in his meditations that we have the power to choose how we respond to the emotions that arise within us. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, he wrote. So how can you apply this principle in everyday life? Start by observing your emotions without immediate reaction. When you feel anger rising, pause. When sadness creeps in, acknowledge it without judgment. By creating space between your feelings and your actions, you gain clarity and control. You can decide whether a reaction is warranted or if you can let the emotion pass, like a cloud drifting across the sky. Reflect on the moments when your emotions have led you into conflict or stress. Could those situations have been different if you had maintained a boundary between what you felt and how you reacted? In practicing this emotional detachment, you develop a calm, centered mindset that allows you to navigate life's challenges with wisdom rather than impulsiveness. And when you begin to manage your emotions effectively, it opens the door to the next Stoic principle: taking breaks from distractions like social media that often fuel our emotional turmoil. 3. Take breaks from social media. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere, but none perhaps are more constant than social media. Every notification, every comparison, every scrolling session adds another drop into the overflowing pool of emotional noise. While Stoicism arose in a time long before the digital age, its principles offer timeless guidance on how to manage these distractions. Imagine your mind as a tranquil lake, calm and reflective. Each time you check social media, it's as though raindrops are disturbing that stillness, rippling out and breaking your focus. How often do you find yourself overwhelmed by the lives of others, feeling anxious, envious, or disconnected from your own path because of what you see online? These platforms, while useful for connection, are often a source of unnecessary stress that clouds our inner peace. The Stoics would ask, is this within your control? The answer is no. We cannot control the lives of others or the curated images they present on social media, but we can control how much of our time and energy we give to these distractions. By taking regular breaks from social media, you reclaim your mental space and allow yourself the freedom to reflect on what truly matters. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Social media may bombard you with endless updates, but you have the power to step back and choose how much attention you give it. When was the last time you spent a day offline, truly present with your own thoughts and surroundings? Challenge yourself to take a step back. Turn off your phone for an afternoon. Go for a walk without checking notifications. In doing so, you create a space of stillness where you can hear your own thoughts without the constant noise of comparison. You'll find clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of focus. If you're finding these Stoic principles helpful, remember that there is much more to explore in this journey. Stay with me as we continue to unravel how you can let go and live a life of tranquility and balance. 4. Focus on fundamental needs. In a world filled with endless distractions and desires, Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what truly matters, our fundamental needs. But how often do we pause to ask ourselves, what is really necessary for our happiness and well-being? We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us to acquire more, to achieve more, and to be more. Yet, as Stoicism reminds us, true contentment comes not from external possessions or achievements, but from inner simplicity and alignment with our core values. Epicurus, though not a Stoic, offered a similar teaching. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. So, what are your fundamental needs? Is it material wealth, or is it emotional peace? Is it the approval of others, or is it self-respect? The more we chase after things that don't truly fulfill us, the further we stray from living a life of meaning and purpose. Stoicism invites us to reflect deeply on what brings us joy and stability. For many, it is the simple things: time spent with loved ones, the pursuit of knowledge, or the beauty of nature. Think of your life as a garden. To cultivate a garden that thrives, you need to focus on what is essential: sunlight, water, care. Similarly, to cultivate a fulfilling life, You must tend to your fundamental needs while letting go of the superfluous desires that drain your energy. Begin by identifying what truly nourishes you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Is it solitude? Is it meaningful relationships? Is it personal growth? Whatever it is, focus your time and attention on these essentials and let go of the distractions that only add noise to your life. When we center our lives around these fundamental needs, we create a solid foundation that makes detachment from unhealthy situations and relationships easier. And as you reflect on your needs, consider sharing your thoughts with someone you trust, a practice that leads us to the next key Stoic strategy. 5. Engage in trustworthy conversations. One of the most powerful steps in the process of letting go is finding someone you trust to share your thoughts and feelings with. In moments of confusion or emotional turmoil, having a confidant can provide you with the clarity and support you need. But have you ever considered how important it is to choose the right person to open up to? Seneca believed that a true friend acts as a mirror, reflecting not only your strengths but also your flaws, helping you to see yourself more clearly. When life feels overwhelming, when emotions cloud your judgment, a wise friend or mentor can offer perspective and guidance, helping you navigate your struggles with a level-headed approach. But this is not about seeking solutions from others. It's about sharing your inner world with someone who understands the principles of Stoicism and can remind you of them when you lose sight. Often, just speaking your thoughts aloud to someone you trust helps you process them in a way that brings insight and peace. When was the last time you confided in someone who truly listened, without judgment or an agenda? Who in your life acts as a beacon of wisdom, helping you stay true to your core values? If this practice resonates with you, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. Engaging in thoughtful conversations can bring new insights, not only to you, but to others who may be struggling with similar challenges. Let's build a community of wisdom and support, just as the Stoics encouraged. 6. Rationally evaluate relationships and situations. Letting go of people and situations is never easy, but a key Stoic principle is to approach this decision rationally rather than emotionally. How often do we cling to relationships or circumstances that cause us distress simply because we're afraid of change? Stoicism encourages us to take a step back and evaluate these situations with a clear, logical mind. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that we are not disturbed by things themselves, but by the views we take of them. This principle invites us to ask, what value does this person or situation truly bring to my life? Does it contribute to my personal growth and serenity? Or does it create confusion and discomfort? By honestly evaluating the impact of your relationships and situations, you begin to see more clearly whether they align with your values or detract from your well-being. Imagine your life as a ship sailing through the sea. The people and circumstances in your life are like winds and currents, some helping you sail smoothly, while others lead you into storms. As the captain of your own life, it is your responsibility to discern which winds to favor and which ones to avoid. This decision is not an act of renunciation or coldness. It's an act of wisdom. It's about consciously steering your life toward growth and peace. The Stoics believed in aligning one's actions with virtue and reason. If a relationship or situation consistently leads to negative emotional reactions, ask yourself whether it reflects who you truly are and what you value. Detaching from those that no longer serve your purpose is not an act of weakness, but one of strength and commitment to living authentically. As you reflect on your relationships, consider Epicurus's advice. Of all the means to ensure happiness throughout the whole life, by far the most important is the acquisition of friends. Stoicism does not teach us to isolate ourselves, but to cultivate meaningful, harmonious connections with those who elevate our lives. By evaluating your relationships rationally, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil that comes from unhealthy attachments. This leads naturally to the next step in our Stoic journey, cultivating gratitude for the present moment. 7. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. In Stoicism, gratitude is not merely a fleeting feeling of thanks. It's a practice that helps anchor us in the present and appreciate what we have. Letting go of people and situations often means accepting that things have changed or that something has run its course. But how can we make peace with these changes? The answer lies in cultivating gratitude. How often do we find ourselves focused on what's missing or what's gone wrong, rather than appreciating the blessings right in front of us? Stoicism encourages us to shift our perspective. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "Do not think that what is hard for you to master is impossible to man, but if a thing is possible and proper to man, deem it attainable by thee." This reminds us to focus on what we can achieve and what we already have, rather than fixating on loss. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to attachment. When you focus on what you're thankful for, it becomes easier to release the grip on what you think you're missing. Even difficult situations or relationships can offer valuable lessons, insights into your own character, strength, and resilience. By acknowledging these lessons, you transform obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. So, what can you be grateful for today? Is it the support of a trusted friend, the lessons learned from a difficult situation, or the simple beauty of a quiet moment of peace? Gratitude shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance, reminding us that no matter what we lose, there is always something to be gained in return. As you practice gratitude, you'll find it easier to let go of attachments that no longer serve you. This gratitude-filled mindset will bring you a sense of peace and fulfillment that is unshakable, even in the face of change. Now that we've explored the power of gratitude, let's move on to another essential Stoic practice, finding solitude and clarity. 8. Find solitude and clarity. One of the first steps toward letting go of people and situations is to create space, both mentally and emotionally. We live in a world that is constantly filled with noise, distractions, and external pressures. How often do we give ourselves the time to simply sit with our thoughts and reflect on what truly matters? In Stoicism, this practice of solitude is crucial. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, often spoke about the importance of returning to oneself. He believed that only in moments of quiet reflection can we gain the clarity needed to make wise decisions. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly disconnected from the hustle and bustle of life to listen to your own thoughts? This solitude doesn't necessarily mean withdrawing to a remote place or isolating yourself from others. Sometimes it can be as simple as turning off your phone, sitting quietly in a room, or taking a walk in nature. The key is to create a space where your thoughts are not drowned out by the noise of daily life. In this space, you'll be able to see your emotions and attachments more clearly, without the distortions of external influences. Picture yourself at a busy party with loud music and conversation all around. In such a setting, it's almost impossible to hear someone whispering to you. The same thing happens in our minds when we are constantly bombarded by distractions. Our inner voice gets drowned out. Stepping back and creating moments of solitude allows us to hear that inner voice again, to reflect on our relationships and situations from a place of calm and clarity. As you practice finding this space of stillness, you'll start to notice patterns in your thoughts and emotions. You'll gain insight into why certain situations or relationships have become difficult to let go of, and you'll be able to approach these challenges with greater wisdom and calm. This leads us naturally to the next step, focusing on fundamental needs, which helps simplify the process of letting go. 9. Focus on fundamental needs. As we journey through life, it's easy to become overwhelmed by distractions and desires that pull us away from what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our fundamental needs, the essential aspects of life that bring us true fulfillment and peace. When we let go of unnecessary attachments and focus on what really nourishes us, we simplify our lives and open ourselves to deeper contentment. But what are these fundamental needs? Is it fame, wealth, or status that we truly crave? Or is it inner peace, emotional stability, and personal growth? The Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from external possessions, but from cultivating virtue, wisdom, and self-awareness. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. What are the things that truly bring you joy and contentment? Is it the simplicity of time spent with loved ones, the satisfaction of learning something new, or the serenity of a quiet moment to yourself? When we identify and prioritize these fundamental needs, we free ourselves from the endless pursuit of things that don't truly satisfy us. Think of your life as a garden. Just as a gardener tends to the most vital elements, sunlight, water, and soil, you must tend to the essentials in your own life. Focus on cultivating what truly sustains you and let go of the distractions and attachments that drain your energy. By doing so, you create a life that is both simple and rich in meaning. As you continue to focus on your fundamental needs, the process of detachment becomes more natural. You'll find it easier to release relationships and situations that no longer serve your well-being, and you'll gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters in your life. Let's now turn to the final key practice in letting go, nourishing both your mind and body. 10. Nourish your mind and body. Stoicism teaches us that the mind and body are deeply interconnected. To let go of people and situations that cause us distress, it is essential to nourish both our mental and physical well-being. But how often do we neglect one in favor of the other? Taking care of your mind begins with mindfulness and self-reflection. Stoicism encourages us to be present in the moment, to observe our thoughts without judgment, and to practice self-awareness. By engaging in regular reflection, we can better understand our emotional patterns and develop the clarity needed to let go of unhealthy attachments. What thoughts are constantly occupying your mind? Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck in the past? Practicing mindfulness allows us to gently redirect our thoughts toward the present, where we can find peace and clarity. In addition to caring for your mind, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of physical well-being. Regular exercise, healthy eating, and adequate rest are all essential for maintaining balance and resilience in the face of life's challenges. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the body ought to be treated more rigorously, that it may not be disobedient to the mind. When your body is strong and well-nourished, you are better equipped to face difficult situations with emotional fortitude. By focusing on the health of both your mind and body, you create a solid foundation for letting go of what no longer serves you. As you practice these Stoic principles, you'll discover that the process of detachment becomes less about losing something and more about gaining the clarity, strength, and peace that come from within. We have journeyed together through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, exploring how to let go of people and situations that weigh us down. By practicing flexibility, setting boundaries with our emotions, taking breaks from distractions, and focusing on our fundamental needs, we can cultivate a life of inner peace and emotional resilience. As you continue on this path, remember that detachment is not about abandoning your humanity. It's about aligning your actions with wisdom and virtue, creating a life that reflects your true self. If you found these Stoic strategies helpful, I encourage you to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. What resonates with you the most? Your insights could help others on their own journey. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who may benefit from the teachings of Stoicism. Together, we can build a community rooted in wisdom, strength, and emotional freedom. Thank you for joining me on this Stoic journey. May you continue to live with clarity, purpose, and peace.